There are tons of things that you might not know about motorcyclists and the good things they do. The charitable aspects are just huge. There's an event that happens here, it's been going on for 20 years. It's called the Blessing of the Bikes, sponsored by F&J Racing. And last time, just a few months ago, raised several $1,000s for local use right here. This was money that was kept in this community, raised by people that don't live here, coming in to support a great cause. That's the type of thing that motorcyclists do. So as we discover these things throughout this, hopefully you'll learn what good motorcyclists do when they come into your community. I call them a temporary tourist because they're only here for a short while, but they definitely are contributing to the well-being and the economic part of your community. So we'll come back and have interviews, locations of bike nights, and much more for this Motorcycles in Marshalltown. Wait a minute, you guys are probably wondering who Pipes is. Well, that's who I am, and I happen to be the Midwest #1 MC for motorcycle events. And I like to share a little clip showing you some of the things that I work with and give you some information about who I am so you can feel confident that I'm going to be able to deliver you the right information in a great way and entertaining and learn something. So check this out, and we'll be back with the rest of Motorcycles in Marshalltown right here on McTV, channel 121.8. We'll be back. Welcome to Rumors, the final stop of today's Honoring Our Heroes run with the Abate District 6 of Iowa's. Great time, folks. It really just is. I mean, you hear music in the background. The band just took off the stage for a bit. They'll be back. There's some vendors set up offering some cool stuff. Of course, the bar itself, there's a bikini wash in the back, and just a great time. So we're going to go and try to find out and talk to a few of the people here, the organizer for the events, of course, and a few other folks that are involved in making this happen. So appreciate you guys watching Motorcycles in Marshalltown. We're at Rumors, and this is the Honoring Our Heroes event for the Iowa's Veteran Home right here in Marshalltown itself. So let's go find some folks, and we'll be filling you in with what's going on. We are here among the vendors for this Honoring Our Heroes event with the Abate District 6 here. I get to the background, be watching the bikini bike wash that's going on. Of course, we'll go and talk to those girls later. But right now, I have with me somebody I've met at the Blessing of the Bikes. You know, they're a very great charitable event. Here is a gentleman, Ben, with BJ's Upholstery. And first of all, I want to thank you for participating in this event and being part of the motorcycle community and everything. So you do a little bit of stitch-witchery and...
Oh yeah, do a little bit of everything.
Everything?
Custom to factory, you name it, I just about do it.
Very good. And you do these events, you know, so that you're here supporting things. And yeah, you were hoping to get the word out for business, but also it's a big difference between a commercial event and a charitable event, because we now realize people are here for the charity, not necessarily for other things. So knowing that, you've got to know that you're helping the charity by supporting and giving the folks something to watch and check out.
Oh yeah. I love giving back to the community as much as I can. Volunteering for the football team, just donating my services out there for the city of Marshalltown.
We have girls over here doing the
Finally, we'll make some announcements. So I'm going to go ahead and let you get back to stuff, and we are going to check out and stuff. And I appreciate you being part of this event. So Thanks, man.
Thank you.
It means a lot seeing somebody again at another event. So I know it just wasn't, oh, you're just there for this. You actually support. So that's great. There you go, folks. Motorcycles, Marshalltown. It's a good thing. That's for sure. Just another example of how motorcyclists are going to come together from different parts and ride. Yeah, it's not a long, great distance, but it's still not around the block. It shows you that motorcyclists are looking for places to ride. And it doesn't matter, it's a motorcycle, it's a ride, it's a destination, and that's what it's about. I've got behind me a group of guys that come all the way from Des Moines to be here, and part of it in great help from Tammy to help in all the promotion and everything that she does. And I'll tell you again on camera, without her a lot of this would not be happening. But behind me is a group of guys, as you can see, it is day one, and they're out of Des Moines, and you guys are riding for, how long's the club been around? Let's talk first.
Around 2 years.
2 years? And so you guys got like a clubhouse. Very cool. Yeah. Like, clubhouse is it like a garage?
No, we haven't really about.
Alright, I'm not making, I just want to know like how much jealous I can be. Because you guys are all like like each other, and that's great. Guys, and so you guys just go out riding and you look for places to go ride, correct? Right. It doesn't matter, you just want to go and check stuff out. There's a lot of cool stuff to see. But it's hard to find out some of these places if this is a biker-friendly place or not. And the only way you can do that is through events like this, a charitable event. If you guys do charitable events, you participate a lot in them, or...
And we just did a charity event for back to school supplies in Des Moines. We do a lot of traveling.
Now you're scaring me, man. That's pretty heavy stuff, man. Man, that's so cool. Is that helping the kids?
Yeah, we're actually planning for 2016 our own charity ride for autism, run for autism. So yeah, definitely come out and support it sometime. It's in April or May.
Hard to pick one thing. I mean, there's so many great things out there and great organizations.
Right.
But the fact you guys are doing something is good. And doing something the kids are going to carry out, like a bubble wands, chalk for the kids, all kinds of good stuff for big bike rides and stuff. So if you guys are out, make sure you check it out. Indianola, we got the last ones of the year coming up. Right. And it should be big. And September 11th is a honoring the first responders. So
Yeah, we'll be there.
Oh, will you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Make sure that you guys let me know that you're there. All right.
Okay.
And we'll make a special thank you to you guys and support, because that's, that's what it's about.
That's what it is. Yes,
It's all to show everything, man.
Fellowship, hang out, have fun.
That's good, man. Thank you so very much.
Appreciate
There you
it.
go, guys. It shows you motorcycles, Marshalltown, motorcycles everywhere. It doesn't matter. It's a good thing, guys.
Day one, all day, every day.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. So, here you go.
You got a steak.
Pleasant, beautiful, loving, caring, doing money, raising for school supplies, ladies and gentlemen. How scary is that? Not. Motorcycles, Marshalltown, it's a wonderful thing. We'll be back with more. We're outside of the actual venue. Things are kind of slowed down just a half a second. The band just got off stage. The bikini bike wash is going on. I think a lot of the guys are watching that action taking place. And I did say we'll go by and talk to those girls eventually. But first, we're going to talk to the gentleman that is the fire behind everything, making sure things are getting done, and with a lot of responsibility. Come on in. This is the PR, the membership and events coordinator, Mike, and I can't begin to remember to pronounce the last. Vaggart?
Yes.
All right. Usually I'm pretty crazy, let's say, when I'm trying to come up with Zyalstra.
Yeah.
And but here we go. You've done this to this event, to this point. Things are gone pretty well.
Excellent.
Nothing crazy.
No.
We're at the final destination. And how do you feel?
Great. This is exciting. This is what this was supposed to be all about. Helping resident in need at the Vets Home. That was what our mission is here today.
And it really was. There's a lot of great things that happened during that time with the vets and the excitement. You can see there was a lot of energy that was going on with those guys, and the whole respect being paid to them. And the one guy that rode on the Torike, oh man, when you see the footage of his smile, it's just well worth everything. But we've got a lot more to go on tonight. You've got raffle prizes, and that's all part of everything. The businesses donate stuff to get
Right.
recognized and to help out. And it's that whole thing of being together and working for the betterment of everybody. Kind of like the Musketeers, but much cooler.
All our supporting businesses back this ride 100%, and I have 2 pages of businesses that have donated items to this ride, and I couldn't explain it in 20 minutes on the air. So,
Well, that's why they need to go to where can they get more information about the event and what's going on with the District 6 aspect of everything here.
we actually have it's called our freeway flyer.
Pencils, get ready.
Yeah, it's our freeway flyer, and as a member you get the freeway flyer, but you can also stop into any abate supporting business and they'll have the flyer there, and you can read it in the minutes what happened and who the businesses were that supported us.
Very good. And you guys are also on social media and
Oh, right. Yes.
Facebook, and so there's lots of things. The year's not over. The riding season is getting close, but you guys have another event coming up that you'll be participating in. That
Actually, we're having on September 19th our supporting business barbecue, and that's
Very
for
cool.
That's for the actual businesses that are abate supporting businesses, and we'll be holding that at Brecky Park September 19th. Is a Sunday.
all right.
And we plan to start grilling around 11. So.
All right, and so that's something you give back, and of course, so when folks are watching this, you'll be able to realize, hey, there's lots more benefits, and there's the aspect of getting to know people, and your business has helped to know other business people to strengthen
Oh, right,
yourself. So
right.
it's just so many positives. They keep compounding themselves. So we got tonight. We still got the raffle prizes to give away tonight, and there's a few other things. We got live music, the bikini wash. You got vendors here, beer.
Plenty.
And there's-
Rumors has a full menu grill in here, and pizza, and just everything enjoyable. So,
Well, good. So you've got no excuse not to come down, and if you can't make it, of course, obviously, you're not going to make it tonight, because by the time you see this, we'll be like probably wearing a jacket maybe,
Right,
because it's going
right.
to take some time. So I love being able to talk about things and see if they get edited out, because this is as real as it gets, folks, and you're a real American for doing this and being part of the abate and doing
Thank
all that
you.
great stuff. And we're going to actually be more about the abate stuff at another time as part of another episode when we come back for Oktoberfest.
all right.
And
Sounds
we'll be
great.
good there. So thanks again, Mike. We'll
Thank
see you.
you.
We'll bet you inside there in a minute. So, folks, good stuff all the way around in so many circles, that participating and being part of these things does just numerous things. It's just too much to really count and to mention. But I want to thank you guys for watching. We're going to go and try to get some more footage. We're running out of daylight really quick here, and we will see what we can do. But again, thanks for watching, and hope that you're beginning to understand and realize that motorcycles in Marshalltown, it is a very good thing. We'll be back. I'm with the beautiful ladies doing the bikini bike wash, just part of all the cool stuff going on with the Honoring Our Heroes event here at Rumors with the Abate District 6. This is how it shows you this motorcycling, it's a great thing. Isn't that right, ladies?
Motorcycles in Marshalltown, it's a good thing.
And that's that's it. We're done. That's it. We're here, folks. It is getting towards the end of our daylight for this event, but I'm with the owner of Rumors, and this is Steve. And Steve, I want to say thank you for being the host of the final location. There's a lot of work and extra involvement that goes on. A lot of people think, yeah, you're going to make a ton of money, but sometimes it isn't about money. It's about giving back and being part of a bigger thing. And from what I can gather, just talking to you very briefly, I think that's the kind of guy you are, that you're here to do something to give back to those that do stuff for the community.
That's true. It's
Yes,
not,
I nailed it, folks. I was right.
it isn't all about the money. Yeah, money's nice, all
Yes,
that
there
kind of
is,
stuff. But there's more people that need the money than just, than me. I guess, I've got an income coming in, and a lot of people don't. This ABATE that's doing the supporting the vets here in Marshalltown. I think it's an awesome idea. They come up with different things every year, it seems like, and it's always to help that one that's really needy. And I thought that this was a great idea by helping those guys that don't always have all the frills. They don't,
Right.
They don't have a hairbrush, or they don't
Bring
have
them up to add more excellence.
right. And I think that was the best idea that anybody could come up with, and leave it to a bait. They did it.
Yeah, and I was really happy to get a hold of them and find out what was going on, the timing of everything being in town for the different things. And you got a great location to handle the extra amount of people here, and some places don't have the facilities to put things together. But a lot of things that people forget to look at is you have employees here that are probably going to make an extra $1 or $2, and they might take that extra $1 or $2. Now they're going to go buy a ceiling fan. So now the guy at the hardware store isn't going to have to lay off somebody because he sold an extra ceiling fan this
Right.
week. So it helps in so many ways that people don't ever understand, and just having an enjoyable time, because after all, it's motorcyclists. They've been enjoying themselves all day long, and they're happy and part of a great thing. So why wouldn't you want to be here?
Right. Well, I think what you're getting to is it's basically the economic impact of Marshalltown. It's kind of how that dollar trickles down.
Smart gentleman right here, folks. Yes.
And that, that's what a lot of people don't really think of or really don't realize is how many times that dollar turns over in town. Like I know several people here on their bikes are going to go to a motel tonight. They're not going to drive back home.
Exactly.
They're going to go to a restaurant. They're going to go to a bar. They're going to do all these different kinds of things. It's not necessarily all the taboo things like going to a bar, but it's restaurants. It's everything.
And it's the riding and stopping at different stands throughout now they can know different places, and I've heard them say, and I overhear the conversations because I love what I do in different aspects of it, and I'm still doing it. I do MC live events. I do Indianola, Winterset, their bike nights in Newton. And I hear people talking, they're like, well, come back here, we have a little more time.
Right.
So, and that's what that helps expose all that stuff. So speaking of time, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. You got a pretty good staff here. They look like they're moving and grooving in there. And again, I want to thank you for being a part of doing something for the community overall and everything.
I hear a lot about Indianola. I hear a lot about Newton's bike nights and stuff like that. I know a few bars here in town that's trying to do a bike night, trying to get some kind of a thing going. So I don't know that, it's a long haul to go to the magnitude
Small
of
things, yeah.
of Indianola. I know it's huge.
But Newton did it, and it's establishing well and for good purposes and having the support. Your local bars, smaller bars, they just have the land or the available resources to do something on a larger scale, and having these people to sponsor it.
Right. It's not just the bars that should take the brunt of it. As far as making this thing go, it should be the community itself, and it should be right up the ladder as far as the city itself.
Hotel tax would be crazy. There's so many great hotels that could be filled.
Right. And it just, I don't know, sometimes it just seems like some things fall through the cracks. You want to try to get the point across to somebody higher up the ladder to make things happen, and it just
You know who you are.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just we can just just hope that we can just keep pushing on, and
that's all you can do if you don't try something. And it's you've got these nice big wide streets, so there's just this big main road coming through.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like there's crampness. There's room here. This is a beautiful resource. So, but again, I appreciate the positive views. And so motorcycles in Marshalltown, a good thing.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it's growing and growing. I know. It seems like every person that I come across anymore, they've got one. And I just talked to a lady that used to be my banker here in town. And she's got her own motorcycle. So I mean,
very cool.
So it's not just the husband or the boyfriend; it's the wife or the girlfriend that's getting their own ride. So
there's a gal riding a Boss Hog trike here, and her husband got a Boss Hog motorcycle, big V8 nitrous, hundreds of horsepower.
I just took pictures of it.
Yeah, so they're going to be down in Conesville, where I'll be next weekend, and they're with Ron, that does the color smoke and everything. So good stuff, and again, marvelous. Thank you for your hospitality, and we'll hopefully be able to run into you again as I'm continuing to do more stuff here. Motorcycles in Marshalltown, it's a good thing. We'll be more later on. So we are here at the Marshalltown Police Department. I'm here with the representative for the Marshalltown Police Department. This is Officer Trish, and I want to say thank you very much for your time and allowing me to come in and get some information and spend a few minutes with you.
Well, thanks for inviting me to attend.
What we're looking to find out is, now we know that there's been a slight increase in motorcycle events in Marshalltown. Some of the local businesses are having bike nights. You've got a local abate chapter that's fairly active in the area that does stuff to raise money. The Blessing of the Bikes has gotten larger and doing a lot of great stuff for very important causes. Recently, has there been, can you tell if there's been a increase in incidences that would require police department attention during these events?
There has not, to the best of my knowledge, there has not been any reports that are above and beyond the normal, ordinary reports that we take on a daily shift.
And that's pretty typical. There's a lot of misnomers in the mainstream public's ideas of what goes on and everything. So have you been to some of these events? Have you drove by and noticed? Or I know that you were at the Blessing of the Bikes, and that's very low key and very mellow. But there was a lot of motorcyclists there, and you would think, oh, all those bad motorcyclists, there's going to be something. But it was a beautiful event.
It was a wonderful event. Over 400 bikers attended that event. Parking was not an issue. The Christian Motorcycle Association stepped up and took care of that. I had actually talked to my chain of command and got permission to work that event. So it's the first time we've had a uniform stationed there throughout the duration of the event. Wonderful. No incidents that were above and beyond any other normal incident. Parking lot with that many vehicles, we had one minor collision between a motorcycle and a car. Nobody injured. Property damage were very low.
Good.
So yeah, it was a wonderful event, and like I said, just having that police presence and making the contact and just being able to be a part of something so wonderful.
And that's because I saw you there. It wasn't though you're like, ooh, let's see who's here and taking notes, and you're being part of the community, doing what originally the police department's main goal was, to be part of the community, so that they can know what was going on, so that there was a familiar face, and so that people didn't have this intimidation factor over, oh, the police are here. So it's a nice thing that you guys wanted to be there, to be part of the event, to be there, not to be, make sure that nobody's doing anything wrong.
Correct. Initially, the response was a few raised eyebrows and some question marks above people's heads as to why the police would need to be there. It was much more of a desire to extend ourselves into the motorcycling community, make ourselves available, and if any questions were brought up, or if we knew about any other events going on in the area, or places to stay, or places to eat, or a good place to get gas with good quality fuel for motorcycles.
Yes.
That would be great information to be able to pass along. So it was really just kind of a give and take, and I met a lot of wonderful folks that I actually got email contacts for and stay in contact with. Yeah, it was a good time.
Kind of the old officer-friendly aspect of things. I
Sure.
remember is being that community liaison between things and to be part instead of being above or separated. So I'm glad to hear that there's that attitude here. Now, some of the other things. Now, you're a motorcyclist.
I am.
And so that kind of makes it a little bit. Oh well, she's a motorcyclist. She's going to like those type of things. Well, it goes hand in hand. A lot of the freedoms of a motorcyclist and the wish to protect our freedoms and to keep people safe go hand in hand. So there's a strong tie between the motorcycle and the police departments throughout the years. Does Marshalltown have a police motorcycle?
We do not, though several members of the police department are motorcyclists.
Well, that's good. That's
Yes.
good. And do you guys do any kind of like? There's a large event coming up in a couple weeks with the local abate chapter. Do you guys provide any traffic control or do anything to help? The start of the run. Usually they need something in the beginning when they're all trying to get out of a parking lot if it's a larger run. Do you guys have an official deal that you do, or is it just as needed?
It's usually as needed upon request. That's the biggest thing, would be the communication factor. As long as the different groups that have functions going on notify the police department and request assistance, exiting a parking lot or coming back into town, we certainly want to aid in making that available. We have done that. I believe our Baca chapter actually just had a big ride, fundraiser ride, and needed our assistance getting out of a parking lot down by Highway 14 and 30 at the junction. Instantly, as soon as asked, we wanted to provide that because it is safety, and the flashing red lights will get somebody's attention and have them yield to motorcyclists where maybe otherwise vehicles
Yeah,
don't.
it is. And you mentioned BACA, and that's the Bikers Against Child Abuse.
Correct.
What a totally against the grain of the typical attitude of or idea of what a motorcyclist is. You've got some of the most biggest, baddest looking guys that go and with these children that have been traumatized and make them feel safe.
Absolutely.
So again, that's not a bad person. Those are wonderful people doing good things for your community right here in Marshalltown, and may ride a motorcycle because they enjoy the freedom of what it provides. And they're not bad people. And like I've said, just with you, if you were to take off your shirt, take off your gear, you would look like anybody else. I would not know that you don't have a light that says or a sign above you that says police officer. We're all
Right.
people.
Right.
We're all equal, and we all deserve the same treatment that we want from ourselves. And that's what motorcyclists do a lot. A lot of respect, a lot of helpfulness,
Absolutely.
and the charitable aspects. I mean, BACA, these are a bunch of people that give their time.
And there may be a belief in the community that some of these are wellspring groups, that they start up, that they're not really very well backed or founded. What the community at large needs to know is that these are organizations that are national organizations.
Yes, worldwide.
Absolutely. And so our chapters are forming has rules and requirements that need to be met, and they
Very,
follow.
very strict. Very,
strict.
I mean, I've had some dealings with a few of the people and talked to them about trying to help out. And because of my position in different things, that I really can't become members of things
Correct.
because of what's, because of my position. But yeah, I was surprised at how detailed, and they're not just letting anybody come in. There is actually a vetting process to make sure that you are a good sort.
Absolutely right. And the one theme stays the same through all the different chapters would be is that they truly care about the community they live in, and they want to make a positive difference in the community they live in. And it would be a shame if anybody ever dismissed them simply because of a leather vest or a,
Scruffy
biking gear.
beard.
Absolutely, because you'll meet some of the most loyal, caring, down-to-earth folks, usually on two wheels.
Yeah, and I've time and time again. There's been things. I have a friend had lost a wallet, got it returned at a motorcycle event. He was at Sturgis, and the money was in the wallet.
Absolutely.
I mean, that doesn't happen most places, folks. It doesn't happen anywhere, but that happened, and it happens more than once.
Right, absolutely.
And we often kid, and being on the other side of the line when we see, what are the police doing here? This is the safest place in town right now because no one's these guys are cool, and they're not going to allow, not that they're vigilantes or not going to prevent stuff, but nobody's going to be dumb around places where we know that it's not accepted. Not that it's just not accepted.
Right, and really, as I stated earlier, my reason for the presence of the Blessing the Bikes was to be part of such a wonderful community event that had payoff in the community that truly affects the people that live in this town.
Tremendous.
And, the children in the town, the different organizations that are at work in this town, making a difference every day. And Fred and Jackie were remarkable in that endeavor and continue to be year after year in helping out the community. And it would be foolish to think that there will not be simple police-related matters, such as a collision between a car and a motorcycle. If the damages,
Life happens.
Absolutely. If the damages reach a certain amount, you're going to require a police report, an accident report.
Right.
We want to make sure that all those bridges and bases are covered, and just make it so it's a fun, safe event, and that there are no worries, residual worries for folks.
And that's all you can really ask for, because it really is a service. And again, a lot of people, we've all been motorcyclists. I'm sure some of you viewers that are motorcyclists have been to events where they've had all the huge police presence because of things like in Chicago and different things like that. And totally a different aspect when you got a huge city where there is just thousands of people, and that opportunity for people to show their themselves off, I guess,
Sure.
it was gonna the wrong side of themselves, but in a smaller community like this, here in the Midwest, there's not going to have that, and there's the people that want to be part of something, so there isn't that divide.
And this was truly a family-friendly event, and there has not been one function up to this point that I've attended that has not been a family-friendly event. I would have taken, my granddaughter to the event, for instance, and she would have had a gas of a time.
Granddaughter?
Absolutely. We'll talk about that later. But Bertha the dog, the biker dog there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, eating Clover's ice cream.
Oh, and I have to mention, Bertha's not doing well.
I've heard that, which is so sad to hear, because she makes such a great impact wherever she goes.
Yeah.
So,
Those are wonderful people too.
Yeah,
Their
they
parents are.
absolutely are. They absolutely
Love you
are.
guys,
So-
Gene. With the percentage of members of the police department that are motorcyclists, you guys are motorcycle friendly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And now we'll have to address the aspect, being, is there any, of the, and I hate using disparaging words, but of, your typical bad motorcycle clubs, because they're not gangs, because that's a totally different thing. And when we in the media say these things the wrong way, you really don't do anybody a good service. They are clubs and organizations and groups of people like-minded. Yes, there are stories, but those are stories, and until you see it yourself, it's not real. So is there a presence here in Marshalltown that's...
You hear that, but are these people that potentially are maybe either they're hang-arounds, following, or even members of some of these different motorcycle organizations, that maybe have a common thread of maybe some criminality associated with them? Are they in existence? We know that those groups exist. Are they in Marshalltown? There's rumor that there are some members in Marshalltown. Are they going out of their way to get police attention or make themselves known? Or
Because they want police attention.
Right. Or creating an environment where police are being called to different events that involve them? Absolutely not. We have not had that. And I guess the biggest thing that I would request as a motorcyclist, a community member, and law enforcement officer would be to maintain respect for where you ride and where you live and where you work. And that's really, common sense.
Yes. Could you see Marshalltown having a large community-based motorcycle event, and do you think that would benefit the town?
I absolutely think it's a wonderful benefit. Marshalltown has a lot of great sightseeing things around. If you go out on Zeller Avenue, for instance, what a great, beautiful ride that is. Provides a lot of shade. You're going out over the water, over the bridge. It's beautiful out there. We also have the Iowa Veterans Home. And for some of those veterans up there to see bicycles or motorcycles coming through the grounds would be a wonderful thing for them.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful piece of Marshalltown that a lot of people just riding by on Highway 30 or north through on Highway 14 don't get to see.
We don't slow down. And
Correct.
that's some of the stuff that we need to be able to slow down and take a breath and see. And there's some wonderful buildings and architect. I've driven
great.
through the town a little bit. And it's very diverse. There's lots of, and I thought Marshalltown would be like a 3-second drive through town, and there's quite a bit here.
There really is. And I think as well, for our businesses, the hotels and the motels don't necessarily survive on people from Marshalltown driving 4 blocks to stay in them. They require out-of-town visitors.
Yes, the temporary tourists on 2 wheels.
Sure. And so somebody coming through, and I know you put 400 to 700 miles on your bike in a day, pushing hard to get somewhere. A nice hotel that has a hot tub and a swimming pool would be quite a relaxing way to spend your evening. That's how these businesses are going to survive, and it certainly promotes tourism through our area.
Yes, so we'll be back in town a couple different times, and I'm sure we'll run into you again. And thank you. I really enjoyed my time with you.
Well,
thank you
thank
very
you so much.
All right, you
All
have a
right.
great day.
You do the same.
There you go, folks. Another proof of motorcycles in Marshalltown. It is a good thing in so many ways. We'll be back with more right here in Motorcycles in Marshalltown on Out and About with Pipes. We'll see you.